Hey, what is up, everybody? Let's see if anybody's in here. What's up, guys? Anybody? Let me know. Okay, there's a person. What's up? What's up, person? Say hello. Say hello. Let me know who you are. I've literally cut it the closest I've ever cut it in my life. I just finished building a new PC. Whoa, what is going on with my hair? I guarantee you my hair does not normally look like this. Hold on one sec. Ugh, hair looks crazy. Okay, that's better. That's better. Now I have a hat. I don't know what's happening with my hair. I also tried to like taper the sides real quick and it looks like it was a disaster. So good thing we're in a pandemic because you guys are the only ones that are gonna see this. Anyway, my name is Mike Thompson. I just finished building a PC, a new one. And hey, there's some guys. Cool. What's up, Andy? Yeah, so literally updated Windows and got all the new drivers and everything on there. And aside from having a couple of the fans not lit up with the nice clean RGB, it's working. So anyway, all right, so let me know if the music sounds like it's a good volume and I sound good and you guys can hear me, and I will start the show. Let's start the show. So I haven't even updated to the new ZBrush on this machine yet. So it's gonna be dicey. Let's see how it goes here. So first, an update. So you know, this is gonna be a new thing. I'm gonna finish the Hulk for now, but just to let you guys know, I did go and I got a Rotocaster. I got a giant thing of silicone to make molds. I have resin coming. What else did I get? Mentioned the Rotocaster, and I got a degassing chamber and a vacuum pump. So that probably doesn't mean anything for anybody that doesn't make molds, but I'm gonna make molds of this Hulk and copies. So I just did the head. Not the actual cast, but I got a mold made, and then I did a test. So remember, before I showed you guys on him, I had like some failed prints. Well, I had one of the arm that wasn't printed all the way, so I just decided to do a test with some paint. And let me actually make this larger. Hold on one second. Now it's blurry. Click on this and full screen, fit to screen. Okay, wow, that's blurry. Dude, focus, I'm here. There you go. All right, so yeah, so I started airbrushing this guy and just testing it. And like I said, it was a failed print. So it didn't do the whole thing. So it was good. I haven't airbrushed in a while. Aside from the fact that it's like super shiny right now. And let's let it focus. I put some matte finish on it, but it still is shiny. It's looking like a lime for some reason, but this is kind of what the guy's gonna look like when he's done. All right, so anyway, that's that. What's up, Commit? All right, so my head is way too big. Let's go back to where it was. Paste. There you go. Small me is much better. That looks scary, large. All right, so for ZBrush, what I was thinking I would do, since I know everybody, I got called the Hulk guy last week. I know you guys are tired of seeing that. So let's start something new. And what I was thinking would be cool is, if you're like me, you're constantly getting better, right? Like you're always working, you're getting better, whether it be painting or drawing or sculpting, whatever. The more you do it, the better you get, right? You get your 10,000 hours in, you get better. So I thought it would be a good idea to go back to one of my earlier sculpts where this is not updating. Is nobody's talking on here, or it's not? Somebody say something. What's going on with this restream? Restream. Still there? Am I still going? I think I am. Okay, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, good. Still there. No, that's me. I'm restreaming. Yeah, so what I thought it would be cool to do is to go back to one of my earlier sculpts where I thought, I killed it, right? I thought I can't possibly get any better than this. And look at it now with eyes of somebody that doesn't suck on that level and make fun of myself and redo it. So, yeah, if you're like me, then you should have a few of these things too, but let's just see if I can find something. All right, let's hide this. Load a tool. Chat is still weird. Let's see. My tools, sculpts. So let's go back to something that's old and take a look at it. So I think probably the first thing that I ever did was a Wolverine. It's always the first thing I do. And I thought I nailed it. Like, you just couldn't tell me anything. Let's see if I have any. See if I have any renders here for you guys to see. PSDs. Uh-oh. ZBrush. Okay, there's a ZBrush. All right. Also, look at this. This is crazy. These are all working files. I had no concept of saving, so each of these is like half a gig, and it's not smart at all. So let me see if I can find the most recent one, and we'll take a look at it. 2015. Okay, so 5 years ago. This opens for me. I've not made a Ghost Rider. I saw somebody made like an amazing Ghost Rider on ZBrush Central. It was like crazy. It looks so good, so detailed. I'm not super excited about doing fire. Like, it just seems like it would be, I thought hair was tedious, but fire would be crazy. What's up, Chris? Hey, from Tennessee. What's up, Steven? So, this is taking a long time to open. Yeah, it's 700 megabytes. And I gotta tell you, it's not that good. Doesn't warrant being that huge. So, this is downloading. I have everything of mine on Dropbox because I do so much work for clients. I keep my stuff on servers as well as on local hard drives. So if there's any problems, I have backups. So, Ten of Slug, what's up, man? Hello. Yeah. So the Hulk is I just showed it a little earlier, but right now it's. Make a big screen again. While this is opening, it's taking forever to open. But let's see. Click. Transform. Fit to screen. Alright, so right now the Hulk looks like this. So it's big. It's pretty friggin' big. And like I showed a little earlier, I did a little paint test for a failed piece, which I think is this arm? Maybe? Yeah, I think so. So yeah, it's getting there. And now I'm at the molding thing. Like, all right, so there's the bag. A little bit of Hulk butt goodness, in case you missed it. But yeah, so I'm at the stage where I'm learning how to make silicone molds now. Everything is a process. So so now, like, I'm in the process of learning how to make molds and cast resin, and then I have some people that wanna get this guy. So I'm gonna make them and do a few little fan pieces. Wow, is this still going? Dude, all right. No, this is unacceptable. Go tool. All right, we may have to not do this one. What about Death Dealer? Not responding, come on, dude. Okay, ZBrush did not like that. So I think what I'm gonna do really quickly, if you haven't done it already, is update ZBrush, because that might be causing some of my issues here. And I'm gonna talk to you while I'm doing it. So if you have any questions, just holler at me. I'm on a PC, so go to updater, because I think I'm still on 0.1. And I wanna update run as administrator. Okay, yes. How do you like that? You guys tuned in to see me updating software. Should take a short amount of time though. Next. Yeah, accept. Next. Next. Go for it. All right. So while that's going, I'm pretty sure I have images of that of the piece that I want to fix today. So let's open Photoshop. Please don't let me have any NDA stuff on here. Hold on 1 second. Oh, come on, dude. How do we sign in? See, this is what happens when you update your computer. Now I got to do everything over again. I'm not doing that right now. Forget that. Hi. Thanks, Chris. Since you're on the Wolverine subject, doing the suit. Oh no. They were maybe. Oh yeah, no, that would be trash. They better do the suit in the film. Oh, you guys can't see my screen. Oh no, I'm huge. Ugh, sorry. Don't look at any of this. Transform. Paste transform. Yeah, that was crazy. Sorry. That was way too much me for anybody. For anybody to see. All right, finish. Thank you for that. Jay Murphy. Murphy. All right, so let's just open up ZBrush again. I did update it. Hopefully it works. How's everybody doing? All right, normally terminated. Okay, I don't want to have that on. Load tool. Let's give this another shot. Wolverine. ZBrush. So I'm gonna go to an early one. See what this thing looked like when I first started. I might have him before I posed him. That would be good. Let's see. Let's open this one, see what it looks like. Digging the beard. Nice. Make that Planet Hulk. Yeah, I wasn't gonna do Planet Hulk. Daniel Bell just did an amazing one for Sideshow. Yeah, I was just gonna do regular Hulk, and then I'm gonna do a variant sculpting actually the the Red Hulk head. It's downloading, it's crazy. Oh, you know why? Because it's syncing. Let's do this. I think it would probably be faster for me to get the file just off of the computer real quick. In the meantime though, what I can show you is, if you haven't seen it, oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, if you just tuned in, nothing is working right. So, you're welcome. Let's open this. Okay. Okay, close that. Close that. Load. All right. So I'm just going to download this thing first because this is wild. It's not trying to work for me. Bring this over here. Go to my Dropbox. Yeah, so I've been working on a thing for Sideshow, which is why I missed my last stream. And I just been a little busy, but it's gonna be cool. My tools. All right. So Sculpt and Wolverine. ZBrush. Date modified. And okay. So I did this a long time ago. Download. This is from 2013. So if anybody on here thinks that you just automatically start off knowing what you're doing, that is not the case at all. You generally start off pretty bad, which is what I did. So where are the downloads? Okay, open file. All right, so this is the head, which the head is all right. Head's okay. That's not the bad one. Let's get to the body. The pose was terrible and the body was terrible. So let's show off how bad it was. Working Wolverine. Okay, working pose. Let's do this one. So this is the pose. Download. Download. All right. Let's open this one. Okay, let's see what's going on. Did you sculpt the Windows background image? The turtle is mine, if that's what you're talking about. I did sculpt that, actually. So if this Wolverine turns out to be a bust, then maybe I'll go to the turtle, because that's one that I started and I never finished. I did paint it, but I didn't sculpt it. I mean, I didn't detail it. Come on, dude, open. Where is it? Man, oh man, a Shevitz. Sorry guys, this is crazy. Unbelievable. It's thinking about it. This must be one of those ones like a gigabyte. I woke up this morning knowing absolutely everything, but I forgot. Okay, cool. All right, so here is, this is from, oh, come on. All right, I'm gonna chill. This is from 2014. So 6 years ago? And, okay, this is what I want to show you. So the muscles on here are crazy. Like, muscles are terrible. Everything's stretched. The pose what in the hell? The pose looks like he's doing some kind of a dance or something. Not exciting at all. But the good thing about this is it's a good base now, right? So I can go in. I don't know what I was thinking about with the boots. Those are silly. Yeah, so muscles, anatomy on this, whack. Really, really whack. So what I think I'm gonna do, plus it's huge. So, well, it's not so big. 3 million polys. But this really doesn't need to be 3 million polys, so let's do this. Let's take some of this 2020 knowledge and apply it to a young, very green Mike T Sculpt. And you guys can play along at home. Do it with your own things. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is, I really don't like, okay, I was gonna say I was gonna keep parts of this costume, but it all kind of sucks. So let's get rid of all this. I'm gonna first do, let's move this out of the way. Move it here and make it smaller so you guys can see the chat. There you go. All right, so first let's solo this. Only thing that's halfway decent are the hands. Like, I'm not mad at the gloves and the hands, right? I'll probably keep those. Everything else is garbage. Face is, the face is what it is. Arms, ridiculous. Also, what the hell is this mat cap? Mat cap sucks. I don't like this either. So let's, all right. Okay, good. Let's go back to regular startup, mat cap. Now we can really see how bad the anatomy really is. This is clearly a snake on his bicep. I thought I was doing something with the veins. Garbage. Everything is garbage. Let's go up to the body. Body looks like I kind of was doing something, but we can fix it. Can be better. And head's not bad. So maybe what I'll do is I'll chop off the head, merge it with the face, and start smoothing all this out and do it again. So let's turn everything on, right? I'm gonna Boolean this. Maybe not maybe not the claws. So hopefully, did I know anything about polygroups? I don't think I did. Let's see. Oh yeah, I got polygroups. Okay. Solo this. The thing was, when I did this, like, I honestly was like, psh, can't tell me nothing, son. I have arrived. All right, so I'm gonna split those gloves off. I'm just gonna split hidden. Okay. So now the blades are their own thing, which I'm gonna revisit these blades. You can see, look, I was like dragging them around and mushing them. Not great. So the gloves I like. Those are, wait a minute, are the gloves? Okay. So this will show you. All of my polygons are spent on only these gloves. These gloves are 2.3 million polys. The body is 2.2 million. Shoulder pads, all right. Seriously? These belt loops are 1 million polys, so don't do this. This is gonna be a good clinic in what not to do. Belt loops here, 1 million polys. It's ridiculous, right? They're belt loops, you guys. So let's see, did I at least keep some of my lower subdivision levels? Okay, well that's good. So I kept the lower sub-D levels, right? I think the reason I did that was because I wanted to have, and yeah, this is why, I wanted to have the detailing with the stitches, which nobody would see anyway. Like, that wouldn't hold on to anything. So let's go back down to the lower sub-D levels. Turn on my, okay, not mad at that. So maybe I'll delete everything higher. Okay, so delete higher. All right, so now we're at 1,000 polys as opposed to 1 million polys for belt loops. That makes a little more sense. The belt. 300,000, which, you know, this is really all I'm looking for. Also, I had it filled. No need to have it filled. So what I'm going to do is I will delete higher on this. Okay, we're at 295 polys now. I know what you're saying to yourself, by the way. Hey Mike, you're on an awesome fast machine. You've got a whole lot of RAM. Why do you care how big this thing is? Because it's like ridiculous to waste polygons on this, when maybe later on what I want to do is I want to go and add skin pores to him. That's where I want to spend my polygons, not on a belt that nobody cares about. All right, so what I'm going to do right now is, okay, good. This actually has some decent topology. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete. I'm in ZModeler now. My favorite thing about ZBrush, one of my favorite things about ZBrush is ZModeler. So I'm going to go delete, and I'm going to delete the poly loop, right? I'm going to do this one. Okay, I have symmetry turned on. This is obviously not symmetrical. All right, so delete that. Delete that. Okay. Okay, I don't want it to fold over, so I'm going to delete these two. Okay, now auto group. Great, the lawn surface is here, so you get to hear that in the background. All right, so I really don't care about anything other than this belt, which I could probably remake, but for the sake of just showing you what I'm going to do to fix this, I'm going to delete hidden. Okay, now let's turn off that. Okay, this costume is silly, you guys. Also, it's doing some weird, it's a little too organic for me, so let's delete some of these loops and maybe add one more. Okay, and now I want to extrude this. I know that it's thick enough, right? If I turn on the guy, it's clearly thick enough. But what I want to do is I want to extrude it inward. So I'm going to flip this. I'll flip the topology inside out, right? So if I turn on double, you can see that that's the way the belt looks. But now if I turn it off, this is how it looks. So I will go to extrude, polygroup all, and just give this thickness. I want this to penetrate the body too, so I'm probably going to make it really thick. So if I was to print this, I wouldn't have to worry about it, you know, hovering above the body. All right, so that's that. The other thing is it's a little wonky, right? So let's try to fix that real quick. And I think, let's see, brush, move infinite depth. I'm using this. Do I have lazy mouse on? It is not on. Okay. Brush move, just use regular move. There you go. All right, so let's just try to make this a little less crazy looking. Yeah, my polygons are not good. It's always easier to make stuff look less wobbly if you have less polygons to deal with. So what I can do here is I can try to even these out a little bit and then take another stab at cleaning this up. All right, I haven't looked at this in a long time. Let's see. Other than yourself, is there any tutorials or videos you know for paintovers? Yeah, I'm sure. I'm not the only one doing it. In fact, go to Pixologic's, what's it called? On their page, you know what? Here, let's do it this way. We'll start with, all right. So I'll get you the right link, and this is not like a shameless plug, but if we go to, I think it's, is it this one? No, it's not. Blog, it's this one. All right. Okay, here it is. Yeah, so Pixologic did this 3D to 2D, and I give a walkthrough of how to, this is the kind of, you're talking about this kind of paint over, right? I'm assuming. Attentive Slug. There's other artists on there that do it as well. So if we type in, let's see, ZBrush 3D to 2D. Yeah, all right. So copy the link. The link. I did this so you wouldn't have to. All right, so there is the link to other artists like Tony Leonard and a bunch of other guys who also are illustrators and use ZBrush to kind of work on things. So on my old blog, I showed how I did it. One of these days, I'm just going to take all the G.I. Joe stuff that I did for Hasbro and do a walkthrough of how I do it. But I did this roadblock for the latest Toy Fair, and I used the toy as a model actually, and did a paint over for that. All right. So what happens sometimes too when you're moving these polys is that the inside now is not as straight as the outside. So what I'll do is I'll just delete the hidden polys, hide and delete those, and then flip it, and then just do another extrude. All right, so now that's better. If I turn on his body, you can see this is what it's looking like, and I can go and his body is going to change, by the way. Believe that. But if I wanted to make sure that it's not clipping through the model, I can now kind of play with it while I'm here. So I guess before I get too deep into this, I should get the shameless plug stuff out of the way, all of it. So Sideshow sent me my ODB print and also the special edition metal print. So I'm going to show it to you real quick. I know you guys came for 3D. This is not 3D, so I won't spend a lot of time on it. Right? But I'll start off with the special edition. Came like this, right? But it's the black and white one. And this was for the ODB Foundation. And that was my illustration, right? So that's black and white. And then they also sent me the color one. If you're a hip hop fan or a Wu-Tang fan or Oh Dirty Bastard, you can get these at sideshow.com, by the way, and they don't cost a lot. But here is the color print. Came out really nice. I like how vibrant it is. But nice little artist proof. Not proof, but a lithograph. So anyway, Wu-Tang. It's for the children. transform, paste. Okay, let's get back to it. What else did I miss? Blends, what's up? Venezuela, how you doing? G.I. Joe. Yeah, a lot of G.I. Joe fans out there. So, all right. Anywho, let's get back into this. All right, so I was on the belt before. I think before I really detail any of this stuff, I got no right detailing anything. First, we're gonna come up with a better pose. We're gonna come up with something that's more dynamic. He honestly feels like he's, I don't know what he's doing. He doesn't look like he's intimidating at all. So I want to take the things that I can merge and merge them, right? Which means not, okay, I can take that. That's the belt buckle. How big is that, by the way? All right, belt buckle's not insane. Boots, 2 million polys for these boots, really? And they look ridiculous. This is like some 1980s moon boot. This sucks. All right, I'm gonna delete these. These boots are offensive, actually. But I don't think I have whole legs for him, so maybe I won't. Maybe what I'll do, let's go to the boots. Let's do a retopo where I just lose all of the detail. That'll be fun. Geometry, let's solo these out. Turn off this. I want to do a Z remesher and have it like insanely low. So let's say 0.25. And I don't care about edges, but let's see what happens here. So we're going from 2 million polys, take this down to probably like 25K. This will be fun. He's doing a Soldier Boy dance. He is doing that. That's true. That is true. Triceps are terrible. All right, just full disclosure, if you're just tuning in, I did this thing in 2013, so, or 2014. So this is before I knew anything. It's garbage. So letting you know that. Old me. Just so you know. Just so you know that. Is it still doing it? Did it do it? Didn't look like it did anything. It's still really high. Oh, there's an idea. Just delete higher. Now Z remesh. Z remesh. Remeshing. Okay, there's probably. Let's check the mesh integrity and fix it. So that's okay. And Z remesh. Turn off freeze border. Z remesh. There you go. Better. That's better already. It's better. That'll work. All right. So also I don't like the little wings I have at the top. Maybe I'll revisit those, but for now, let's get rid of them. There and there. Okay, delete hidden. Do I have inside? Yeah, I do have. Okay, so let's auto group. Oh, no, I don't. Okay. Delete hidden. Let's go to deformation and maybe polish by features. There you go. That's what I want. Those are some good boots. All right, so I'm gonna keep these. Went from 2 million to 652 polys. A little better. Subtool, boots. We'll keep those. Those are good. I'm gonna knock those down to the bottom. The belt, I'm gonna take that down to the bottom. All right. The claws, I'll just remake these entirely, right? I don't like these at all. Let's delete them. Delete, yes. These gloves, I like the gloves. Look, I even have Velcro in here. So rip it off. All right, gloves will work. Eyeballs, how big are they? All right, eyeballs are not offensive. Head, move the head up. I'm gonna boolean that to the body. Belt loops are low now. I'm going to keep those. Shoulder pads. Probably end up just remaking these, right? But while I'm here, let's what's going on with these things? All right, let's Z-remesh these. So geometry, Z-remesh, let's take that down to about 1. And detect edges and Z-remesh. All right, it's okay. A little soft on the edges, but that's all right. Nothing a little H polish can't fix. So I'm gonna keep the shoulder pads, and now they're 2,000 as opposed to 600,000, I think it was before. Subtool, shoulder plates, not pads. All right, put those down at the bottom. Belt buckle, frame. Ugh, what the hell was I thinking about with this? Yeah. That's not good. That's not good. All right, so I'll just remake the belt buckle later, or letter. In the meantime, just so I have the form of it, you know what, screw the form. Let's delete that. Delete that belt buckle. Arms. Yeesh. Yeah, not good. All right, this is gonna be fun. So let's take these things, let's turn off everything but the arms and the face and the body. Look at him sticking that butt out. Dude, Wolverine, what are you doing? And the boots. I'm gonna duplicate those and merge those to the body. You know what? Nah. All right, forget the boots. Let's just redo this first. The head I'm not mad at, actually, so let's chop the head off. Duplicate. Solo this. Oh, but the face isn't on there. Okay. All right, delete. All right, so I'm gonna merge these things first, right? Make sure live boolean's turned on, which it is. Let's go to, did I have the old? All right, I have the old school mask too. And I have the head by itself. You know what? I like this. All right, I'm gonna keep that too. This is called, let's call this good. Let's delete this. Delete. We'll call this 2020 Wolverine head good. Just so there's no confusion, because I have 1,000 files for him. And then I'll save this, save as. Actually, let's make it smaller first, because I know this is insane. The face isn't that big. 70,000? What is this? That must be what I used to make the mask. Yeah. And there are the eyes. So that material is terrible. Don't do that. Material. Sorry, I'm talking to myself as I go here. Fill object. So head is good. This extract I can delete. Delete. These are eyes. Rename them as such. Eyes and mask. Turn on solo. And go back to my startup material. Alright, so I'm going to save this because I like it. Save as. Mic Tools. Sculpt. Wolverine. Let's make a new folder because the other one's crazy. Call this ZB Live Fix. Oh, come on, really? Oh, okay, there it is. That took way too long, by the way. My pen dropped. Hold on a second, you guys. I found it. Crisis averted. Okay. Cribble clouds, that's what I am going to do. I got a rotocaster and degasser and all that, so I'm going to mold and cast my guy. All right, so the head is good. Let's go back to this train wreck of a body. And now I want to make a Boolean mesh of this. Boolean, make Boolean. So this should take some time. In the meantime, let's see if I missed anything. Nope. You guys aren't really talking too much today. Is my music on? Yeah, it's on. Almost done. Almost done. Yes. All right. So here is the union mesh of my guy. Okay. And the first thing that I'm gonna do is make a. I'm not even gonna make a duplicate of this because I don't really care about. First thing I'll do is I'll save the history and then go to geometry. Let's do this first. Make this all one group. And then Z remesh, I want to turn this low. Let's do 0.75. Detect edges. Z remesh. Let's see what happens. It's going to take a little bit of time. So in the meantime, while that is doing that, let's open up some reference, right? So the difference between now and then was I actually use reference. So I'll open pure ref. Pure Ref. Try to open Pure Ref. There it is. Okay, so this may be a little lower than I wanted. Slightly. It's actually kind of cool though. You know what? That's interesting. Huh, okay. I'm not gonna use that, but that's actually kind of cool. So let's undo that. Maybe first I'll Dynamesh this just so that it's a little lower. We have something to work from, so I will Dynamesh. Wait, is this Dynameshed? Yeah, it is. Alright, turn it down. Let's say 32. Okay. Alright. So it's a little lower. Let's go to geometry. And let's set the, oh, that was 0.1, no wonder. Alright, I didn't want that to be that. I wanted it to be 0.75. Let's just say 1. And ZBrush. So what I'm looking to do is just keep the forms, but not necessarily the fashion choice. Also, let's load some images. Load. Okay. All right, that's not bad. Okay, so that's that. And divide them one time. Now, I want this pose to be better, right? So let's look online real quick for just a decent, let's see, it's a decent pose. I always like this one. This Chris Claremont one is always cool. Matter Error is dope. It's kind of cool. So maybe we add this to our, that's not what I want. Let's see, load. Reference. I'm on the other screen. I'm multitasking, you guys. My tools. Hulk. No, trap jaw. That had a good pure ref. Yeah. Yeah. Trap jaw. Okay, open that up on the other screen. Ooh, this is dope. This looks like Dave Wilkins. Yeah, I think Dave did this one. That's fresh, but that's based off of Grissetti's, so I don't want to do that one. Alright. Fastball special. This one always looked good in comics. Yeah. What's good? What is good with you all? Do something like this. And let's go all out. That's not bad. Oh my gosh, the PureRef is still loading. I don't know what's going on. Unless it's huge. But for now, I'm gonna take this and put it on the other screen, and that's kind of gonna be what I'm thinking about for this. So really, let's say subtool. We go back to this. We turn on our everything that's turned off. Okay. Imaginary gloves. This is what I had before, right? There's only like one angle where this doesn't look insane. I don't know. And I think I really, like, I was really finagling this to get a decent angle. But it's a crappy pose. Let's call it what it is. Let's just put this here, make a couple copies. Yeah. Okay. All right. And I think maybe what would be better than this is to start from scratch. So I know for a fact that I have a version of him before I posed him. I know that for a fact. So let's find it. Dropbox. Mic. Tools. Wolverine. ZBrush. Wolverine. Download. All right, so that's downloading. So if you're just joining me, this is not what I'm working on, okay? This is, the whole theme for today is taking bad sculpts that you did before and using everything that you've learned to make them a good sculpt. So this is an example of a bad sculpt. All right, sorry guys. And in the process, I lost my camera. It's just not working, so whatever. Let's get back into it. Sorry about that, that was crazy. Open ZBrush back up again. Thanks for hanging in there, J Murphy. J Murph. All right, okay. Let's open. I did a quick save, it didn't save it. Nice. This one? Let's see. Where restream go? 29, all right, cool. Put that over here. Let's put this over here. All right. So I'm just going to redo this. Really steals your momentum when your computer just craps out on you, you guys. It's not good. All right. So that's that. Let's bring this over here. And now restream won't stay on the top. Okay. Let's go over here, tools. Actually, I have my own guys. Let's see, load, base mesh, base mesh, base mesh. Base. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm just going to use one of the ones here because I don't know where anything is. Tool. Nothing is where it should be. And I have the demo soldier. I'm going to only keep his body and delete the clothes. So let's turn off everything except for that. And I wanted to Z-remesh him. Geometry. Count 1. Adaptive, detect edges, and the groups are good. Can I keep the groups? Z-remesh. Let's see. Let me know if it gets laggy again or anything happens. Like I said, the camera's gone now, so I don't know what happened to that. But it won't come back. Yeah, it's gone. All right, so that is a little lower than I wanted, but let's see. Let's try 2. And let's turn on symmetry. And now, Z-remesh. See what happens. That's better. Yeah, that'll work. All right. So first thing I want to do is get some reference. And let's see if pure ref works this time. Or if my machine works, rather. Come on, baby. I might just have to go to Pinterest. I don't know what's going on. It's taking too long. Cancel. All right, let's just go to pure ref. I mean let's get some online. Let's see. Pinterest. Again. Don't rebuild a computer before you start a stream. That's not a good thing, because everything is gone. There you go. Log in. There you go. Okay, now I'm in my Pinterest. Where are my anatomy pose? This is what I want. All right, so I can build a new Pinterest page real quick. This is nice. All right, so what I'm doing now, I'm just going in and grabbing stuff to help me get the proportions on this guy. And I can quickly block his body out. And if anybody wants this, this is on my Pinterest page. What's up, Mr. Sanson? And I think I'm at Mike T Art Works on Pinterest. Come over. Yeah, there you go. All right. So that'll work for now. We got some stuff. Sin City? I don't know. I'm not sure. I thought I had a lot of practical stuff in there. Practical designs. Let's see. Let's grab this. And organize these images. Arrange optimal. Okay. And so I want to start making this guy look a little less like me and more like a superhero. And I'm just going to use the move brush quickly with some the X symmetry turned on and start playing around with some of his proportions. And grab my, I use the lasso and the mask lasso more than the select rect. Also, he's standing a little too straight up for me. So let's do this. I want a full loop here. So see how I lost some of these polygons? If I delete not delete, but hide the ones that are stray here, like that. And I have a, oh, dang on it. Ugh. Dude. Let's turn on double. Help me see what I'm doing. Double. There you go. Alright, so now I have a clean loop of polygons here. So what I can do is I can grow them out. And if I flip it and hit shrink, that, I think I have one more. Shrink. Alright, now. Alright. Okay, it's getting weird at the top. I just want clean topo here. Okay, cool, that'll work. All right, so now I can auto group these legs and it groups them separately. I also can go and mask them. And if I see what I don't want his crotch in there, but maybe if I shrink, let's see. So I just blurred the mask a little bit. What I want to do is I want to separate his legs a little bit. So if I come over here and there you go. Just want some space. So now I can sculpt in and it's not going to be not going to be too tight, right? So let's do this. Another good thing about doing the legs this way is, or making polygroups this way rather, and having a clean line of loops here at the top, is now if I shrink them to around the middle of the knee and do an auto group, now the legs are, now I have my, you know, a point of deformation that's clean. All right, so W. Q. I don't like how freaking bow-legged he is. And I can do the same thing for the feet, but it's probably easier just to isolate the feet like that. Yeah, auto group those. They're looking a little small too. Okay, W, Q. All right. So I'm just going to, I don't have any ref in front of me for this, but I just know that he's got some weird cankles going on, and I don't know what's up with this dude. Like, for a soldier, he's in pretty bad shape. I don't need toes. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to delete them. Delete hidden. I like geometry. The geometry everywhere else is pretty good. So for now, I'll just take a chance on closing the holes. It's not going to be pretty, but I have something there that I can clean up later, and just kind of shape this into a kind of the shape of a foot. like that. Now, if you're hearing rustling around, it's because on my desk I have a lot of crap, but one thing that I am using is I have an Anatomy Tools model here, and it just kind of helps me see things that I don't necessarily just know instinctively, you know what I'm saying? So that's better for the legs. Probably should save this. All right, I see I missed quite a few things here. Thoughts on the new Creality Ender 6 Core XY? I don't know anything about that, but it sounds dope. Hey, no, I'm back. How much time do we have here? Okay, it's 2:30. I'm done at 4 my time Eastern. So we still have another hour and a half. What's up, Mr. Sanson? Yeah, the program is called PURREF. It's already in the thing. Thanks, Comics Legend. All right, cool. So let's get back to getting him in a little better shape. The head is crazy. I don't know what's going on with his head. This whole thing is a mess. And all I'm doing, if you guys are just now watching, is just kind of figuring out this anatomy a little bit and making it a little better. Not better, but you know, more like what I want it to look like. Which is Wolverine and not a doughy dude. Alright, so I know his arms are gonna... I like... There's like a Joe Mad version, Madureira does a version where he has these really big arms And then, you know, he's short, but he's got large wrists. Like these forearms are probably longer than they need to be. I just shrunk his hands too. I didn't mean to do that. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Hands are small anyway. Hands are tiny. I'm just using the move tool and smooth. No sculpting is going on at all yet. So also in the comics, Wolverine isn't like Hugh Jackman tall. He's like short. He's kind of known for being short. So I'm gonna make my guy shorter. And I'll look at reference of guys that probably have shorter stature. Oops. Another way to make a guy look shorter is make his head bigger. So, doing that. I don't know what happened there. Oh, took off symmetry, that's what happened. Still off? Dude. Alright. Let's do this. Q. Mirror. Mirror and weld. There you go. Why does it look like there's a bump on that one? Alright, whatever. Not gonna stress it. Alright, so that's that. I want his chest to be a little more barrel chested. So let's do this. Oops, I need to do that. have that head that I already made that I liked, right? Because really this is supposed to be fixing the crappy version that I have already, not redoing Wolverine. So doesn't matter that he looks like an alien here. Like, doesn't really matter. Okay, let's look at some more ref. Oh, again, dude. Turn on symmetry. Sorry if I got quiet, you guys. I can't really chew and talk gum at the same time. You know that old saying from the sea? I don't know why they give this soldier like a divot in his butt. It seems like they spent way too much time on his butt. And like, oh, the geo got all screwed up here. I don't know what is happening. Alright, I think I'm gonna do this. I don't even know what this part is. Let's do this. I'm going to get rid of this pink part. And then close the holes. You know, I'm thinking about it too much. Let's just do this. Ridiculous. All right. Try re-topoing it. Save as. No, I don't want to do that. No, what is this? Come on. I'm annoyed, you guys. Things seem to be taking longer to do than they normally would. I don't have patience for it today. Okay. Yeah, if you hear humming, that's my computer, the fans. Okay, what was I gonna do? Remesh. I just, you know what? I'm not gonna sweat that right now. So. Get that nice S curve. The way he's standing. Now. Let's see what this looks like with. Turned on. All right. So I'm try to retopple this again, see what happens. I'll keep it at the same. Okay, let's do this. First, let me go. Drop dynamic. Yeah. All right, now I'll retopple. Come on, dude. I'm gonna have to sculpt out this ridiculous ass geometry that's going on here. I don't know what's happening. It's making me angry. So I'm just gonna kind of scribble in the forms here that I think I want to deal with. And then I can sculpt them. And it doesn't matter if it's ugly at this stage. I'm just looking for forms. And this is one of the things I did not do on the Wolverine that you see over on the left, is really put any thought into how the anatomy is supposed to actually be. I just figured, hey, this is kind of what an arm looks like, and this, you know, I've looked at arms all my life, and this is kind of what it should be, you know, as opposed to actually looking at people flexing and putting those things in the way they're supposed to look, actually. This probably would go better if I had less geometry here to deal with. I never sculpt this high, actually. So let's delete higher. Okay. I'm not gonna. Another reason why. Sorry. Another reason why all of my subtools were so high before was I wasn't working at the lowest geometry I could until I needed to subdivide. So it's another kind of a rookie mistake that artists make when they first start sculpting, is, you know, they subdivide the crap out of it, and because they think they need to, and you don't. You don't have to have that much geometry to start with. All right, so I'll break this symmetry later on, but for now I'm just gonna kind of go and add this. Having those poly groups helps too, to get to areas that you can't really reach. Like if those arms were in the way, I wouldn't be able to work on the lats. So it's nice to be able to turn them off. That's really nice. And again, finding good geometry will save you every time. Like that's the thing. Like being able to know what you're doing instead of just thinking you know what you're doing. Helps. I haven't looked at the chat in a while. Let's see. That guy doesn't have any legs. Let's find somebody with some legs. Oh, this is good. Oh, this is good for the arm. Oh man, that's awesome. This écrochet stuff is very helpful too. Being able to see without the skin and the fat is very helpful, actually. I like the stuff where they go in and draw over it too, where you can see the actual groupings of muscles. It's nice. Ah, this is funny. Alright, so this is somewhere in there. I saw it. I had mine. Alright, somewhere I have mine in here. But I was going to show you the Wolverine that we're fixing. But I didn't know I had this much stuff. Great day in the morning. That's a lot of stuff. There, the picture is right there. So anatomy's good. Sculpture is good too. Eddie Granoff is one of my favorite comic artists, so I look at his stuff a lot. But let's see. Sculpture is what I want. There's Wolverine. Just looking to see if there's anybody with some beefy legs. It's taking too long. So. Right, whatever. It's taking a long time. Let's not do that. So I got about an hour left if anybody has any questions about anything. I know it's pretty laid back today. You guys are pretty quiet. That's why you can hear my fan. There's nobody talking. All right, so even though all of this stuff is going to be covered by his suit, it's always just good to sculpt things in, even if there's going to be like padding and hard surface stuff on top of it, because you know what kind of volumes to have, and it just makes things look more realistic. So. And with this, it's a whole lot of building up and smoothing out until I can find the right, the right shape and size of these muscles. I might think I have it, and then I'll look at it from a different angle and it looks totally wrong. So I just keep going back into it. Now, even though I really like his glove on the one that I already did, I don't think I'm going to keep it. What I can do, though, is I can go back and look at it for reference. So let's see. For some reason, tools got bumped off of here. Subtool. All right, let's save this one. Save. Oh, thanks, Tapioca. Oh, Comics Legend. I would show you, but my camera's broken now. Oh, dude. Right failure. Seriously. Yeah, the Hulk is completely printed out, and I bought everything I need to start making casts of it, like making the molds and casting it. Including yesterday, I got a rotocaster and a vacuum chamber and pump. So I'm going to start working on that next. I'll let you know next time. Also, God, if you were to add color to a character to be done here, would need to be appropriate. No, you can add color here, totally. I could paint on top of here if I wanted to. Start sculpting. Maybe where I need to get in better shape. Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. I wish it was as easy as sculpting. That would be nice. Just sculpt some muscles on myself. What was I gonna do? Save here. Save. And then open, where does it go to this one? Go to the gloves only. Let's get rid of that guy. Get some screenshots of this guy. So you guys can see I can get a lot of these forms at a pretty low resolution. This is only 33,000 polys right here. When I originally was doing the this sculpt 6 years ago, I had it divided up into hundreds of thousands of polys, like way more than I needed. So that's why a lot of people ask me, like, I try to keep my stuff really clean, and that comes from working at as low of a resolution as you can to support just the details you need, right? So I don't need to, I know for a fact after just finishing that Hulk piece, I don't need to really jump it up until I start getting into the, secondary forms and the skin pores and things of that nature. Oops. Why isn't it digging in? Come on. Is it starting to get laggy again, you guys? Let me know. What's happening here? All right. What's up, Justice? What is happening with this? Dynamic is on, that's what it is. So this would be enough to get started on the new pose. So now let's get that Wolverine pose I liked before. I think I'm going to do the Claremont pose. I'll always like this one. Let me get a couple more just in case. I love the way Dave Wilkins did this. This looks beautiful. Dave is a friend of mine who's a comic, he's done comic illustrations, he's or artwork for comics, he's also an illustrator. And he does a lot of the sideshow prints. So this is the one that was based off of the Grassetti statue of Wolverine, and it's just so dope. So I think what I'll do is I'll lean into his costume, but I'll use this pose, I think. All right, so first things first, let's just clone this, save it, replace the other one, then duplicate it, step down, for the folks who stayed around, this is good. I noticed my numbers aren't as high as normal, but I'm gonna get into the pose here. It's gonna be worth the wait. I guarantee it. Before I do though, I think I want to try to retopologize because there's some weird stuff going on in the back. Let's try. So step up. Wait, no. Geometry. And just make it. Oops. Just make it one group. Subtool geometry. Same. Let's remesh and see what happens. Much better. Much better. So now I can just project the details that I lost, if I even need to, let's say. Might not even need to. Subtool. Yeah, actually, yeah, I do. That's 98. It's 9,000. Let's go to this one and copy that. And project history. Okay. Cool. All right. So now the only thing, I lost my groups, but it's all good because I'll just make them again. That gave me some good topology on those feet that I just kind of did a close hole on before too. That looks nice. What's off here? Let's try this one more time. Around his arms might get a little dicey because they kind of penetrated his chest. So might have to be creative right here. is to use my gizmo and mask. Let's try something. Let's try it this way. Yeah. There you go. So all I want to do is I want to separate this inside from the outside. So let's grab the blue only. Why is it not doing it? Okay. Yeah, that's good. Let's shrink this a little bit. Okay. Close enough. Nobody's going to see under his arm. Although, let's see something. Group this. Then auto group. Okay. This is that part that kind of needs to be soft. It's where the arm penetrated the chest. So I can just fix that. I'm just looking for places where it makes sense to group, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend him at those joints. So probably would make sense to have a break between the chest, and actually this could be higher. Let's see. I want that right under the rib cage. Shrink. Yeah, that'll do. And the head and the neck. Oh, crap. All right. So now we have our poly groups. The touch must be on. That's why. Yes. All right. So this one I'm going to call Wolverine pose. I'm going to get rid of this one. Delete this. Delete, delete, delete. Yes. Keep this one. Save as. And the great thing about this, it's super low. All those other files I had were incredibly high. Didn't make any sense at all. So all right. Let me think here. So probably, not probably. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a pose of this guy, but I'm just going to keep it as reference because it makes way more sense to do his costume in symmetry. Hey, Mari Cat. It makes more sense to do his pose, his clothes rather, while I have symmetry because I only have to do it once as opposed to doing 2 gloves and 2 boots and all that stuff. All right, so, but I am gonna pose him just for reference, so I'll duplicate this and then just get started doing my thing here. And I'm just going to use the Gizmo 3D. Just kind of placing it where I think it should be. And the other thing about this too is the it lets me see areas that I wanted to form a particular way. So I don't want to stretch his butt all the way up his back. That doesn't make sense. I'm just going to mask this and give it another shot. See how it's dragging that up? That's okay because I can just smooth that out. Maybe I'll mask it a little higher. When he bends over, his back is going to be bent. So, oh crap, his arms. All right. As you can see, his arms weren't masked properly, so that's why it bent like that. And there's all my deformation right there. Just happened. Okay, I'm going to want that to stretch more from the back than I do from the front. So I'm going to move this gizmo up further towards his pecs and then bend it. And then what will happen is it'll stretch in the back and fold in the front. Like that. And again, I would just shrink, smooth it out. That's why it doesn't really make a ton of sense to go crazy with the anatomy as far as like details before you pose, because you're gonna have to do it again anyway. But it's good to kind of know where things are. All right, it's looking a little better. Now his neck and his head, we can move those. And I'm just going to put a little bit of a blur going on here. Blur the mask. I have to be careful because I don't want it to like deform his clavicle or anything like that. So get a little bit of a bend there. That's not bad. And then do the same thing with his head. And I want that to bend right around the ear, because that's pretty much where the skull and the neck meet. All right, so I want this mask to be a little more pronounced, actually. That. The other thing too about this is what I've learned over the past few years is you really want to push the pose. So I think the problem I ran into with the original Wolverine was I was timid about how much I was hey, thanks, Cadman. I was kind of timid about how much I pushed those angles of the joints, and when you do that, it makes it look boring. Like it's not exciting at all to look at that. So now I go out of my way to really just exaggerate the pose, and it shows. It helps, you know. I learned that from my friend Brad, who is an animator. I'm also under contract to mention Brad's name at least once every podcast or pod stream, whatever the hell this thing is. All right, let's put that there and there. Be out a little further. Then I want to rotate this. So now this part is tricky. I got to make sure that the gizmo is lined up properly, or else it's going to deform the crap out of these arms. So I just want to make sure it's as close to the center and in line with where that shoulder is meeting the body as possible. And then if I do that right, it should rotate and not get too deformed. Other thing too is definitely want to do a little bit of a blur on this. Oops. Yeah, and it's good to do this in parts too. So like a little bit of rotation, then a little bit more. So if I'm looking, his arms would be, it's actually not, it's not too shabby. Let's keep going. Maybe back this way a little bit. And up. Helps to go and soften the areas that are getting deformed as you go. Then you don't end up with this really super deformed thing when you're done. All right, so I can already tell this is going to have to move. So it's close. It's going to need some work, but not too shabby. Bend his elbows a little bit. Oops, take that one out. Come on. Oh, I see what's happening here. Turn off symmetry. There you go. Turn it back on. With forearms, you want to be careful with how much you blur it when you're doing the transformation, because that gives you the rubber elbow, and it also can really stretch out the bicep. So you got to be careful with that. It's probably better not to have a blurred mask at all. Also, you want to move the transform tool, the gizmo, back towards the elbow, because that's the point where it's bending, right? It would be better for him to have the bicep and the forearm deform than the elbow, obviously, because that's a bone. So you get that. Oops. Bend it back this way a little bit and maybe give it a little bit of a twist. Now for the twist part, we can blur it a little bit. Just twist it. That. Yeah, right now he looks like a guy telling some kids to get off his lawn. You kids, get off my yard! Alright. It's not too bad. The difference between now and when I was posing that original Wolverine is it's light years. I was so not confident in the transform tool. Like it was just really, really bad, you guys. All right, so I want to, before I get out of here, kind of maybe make this hand look a little more aggressive. This bend between the wrist and the forearm. So more like this, twisted, like this. Okay, and then even, oh, you know what? Should probably group those while I'm at it. Group them and separate the group. So now I can go in and just, rather than smoothing this because it's going to turn into a big spaghetti wrist, it's probably easier. It's low enough in the polygons that I can just go in and move them around a little bit. Right. That's that. Almost out of time. I guess I have enough time to do one leg. Let's do that. Let's do this leg. So it's okay that I'm penetrating the back of his leg with his calf here. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to be able to fix that later. Lightly smoothing it. Now I don't want to lose the knee, so let's see, let's mask that part. There you go. That's that. Let's see what he looks like. So it's good. I'm going to go in and sculpt this more later, obviously, but I mean, I didn't get a ton of like really bad areas, and he's low enough that it doesn't matter. Now, if I had done what I did originally, which was to really sculpt the crap out of him in a relaxed pose and then go in and pose him at a high, like a higher, you know, a higher polygon count, it would have, he would have been a lot more deformed, right? So the good thing about this now is I can go in and he's low enough that I can, if I want to stretch out his wings here, I can definitely give him some wide lats, and doesn't matter that he is, you know, I can stretch this, you know, really just go to town with his muscles here so that he looks way more aggressive. Also, I would go and probably, you know, do this kind of a thing. So, not a bad start. I got about 2 minutes left. I probably can do a little more posing. So let's do a quick save. Oh man, to answer some of these questions, I lost a lot here. Let's see. Okay. Wow, I lost a lot of stuff. Sorry guys, I haven't answered questions in a while. Saeed's asking question, awesome work. Why is posing in the low res resulting better? Okay, so the lower the resolution of your model, the less polygons there are to deform. So good example of that is if I had this guy at 1,000,000 polygons and I went to bend his knee, if we go back and look at the way it looks now, I mean, it's very easy to clean up. There's very few polygons to go in and resculpt and fix. Where there's, you know, bending, like where his back kind of morphed into his butt here, it's much easier to clean that up at a low resolution than if there were, you know, far more resolution there. So that's why I do that. Thanks, Cadman. Jay Morales. Papa Burgundy here, Jay. Drawing comics the Marvel way, basically. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love that book. I had that when I was a kid. Yeah. And the great thing too now about you mentioned the silhouette, like having the little thumbnail view up there is invaluable, because you can, you know, rotate them around and see what looks interesting, what doesn't, and so that's great. Let's see, any more justice you ever run a situation where the gizmo starts to deform your mesh unintentionally? Place it inside that transcript. Yeah, placement of the gizmo is critical. You have to have it, and masking, obviously. You have to have it in just the right area for the pivot, and rotations and things like that. It's one of those things where practice makes perfect, and you're going to do it wrong more often than right when you're starting off. XXXX, I'm a noob. What if we UV and texture a model, then pose it? Will the textures stay in the same place because of the UVs? Yes, they will. They will indeed. Have you tried the Daniel Bell method using a mannequin? Yeah, you know what? Daniel Bell is a giant influence of mine. I got to meet him last year, and I love his work. So I did. In fact, I'm going to open that and then I'm going to get out of here. Let's see, load tool. Now, if I can find it, that would be cool. But let's see. There's a 50% chance I will be able to find this. Personal. Nope. Mike. Not gonna be able to. Where? I thought I had more personal stuff. Misk. Back on it. Oh, I know where it is. I think I know you guys. Hold on 1 second. Spider-Gwen. ZBrush. Miles and Gwen. Here it is. So here's one where I just started playing around with doing it the Daniel Bell way with the mannequin. I just did a pose. Did a pose of Miles Morales and Stacy, Spider-Gwen, and I just started sculpting. Didn't spend more than 20 minutes, 15 minutes on this. So, but yeah, his way is dope. All right, so that's it. Let's see. So is this for printing? Oh, the Wolverine thing? No. So the whole point of this stream today was to take a sculpt that I did when I was very new to ZBrush and make it better now. So I had this guy right here. I deleted a lot of parts of him, but anyway, I had this guy and I went in and I'm making it better now. Turn on everything. Yeah, pose terrible, anatomy meh, clothes questionable. So that's it. All right, guys, that is the end of my time for today. Today was a big day. I think they have 4 people streaming, so I'm smack dab in the middle. You might have 2 more guys today. So if you have time, I mean, where are you gonna go? It's a pandemic. Stay home, leave ZBrush Live on, get a coffee, do your work, and watch people do their thing. All right. So if you could see me right now, you'd see I'm throwing up the peace symbol and saying bye, you guys. Take care. Be good to one another. And wear a mask. All right. Peace.